Hi, my name is Francois and I am a super teacher. Lately, I have noticed that there's a surge of stories on social media where teachers are being abused by the very same learners that they are trying to educate. In this week's episode, I am going to give my thoughts on teachers being abused, and then I'll suggest a strategy to combat the negativity around the teaching profession. Let's educate. In the last week, there was a video that went viral of a South African teacher being tackled by 3 of the learners in the classroom that tried to restrain him, and he then tried to subsequently free himself from their grip. The video is atrocious, and to think that learners would have the audacity to treat a teacher like that goes beyond me. In a separate incident, a teacher reprimanded a learner for transgressing against the school's code of conduct. He then subsequently went and emptied dustbins outside of her classroom, swore at her, and proceeded to cause almost 20,000 rands worth of damage to her car. After scouring social media, I found a few Facebook groups where teachers are complaining about similar incidents, where learners absolutely abuse the teacher, where they either verbally abuse the teacher or, as in some cases, physically abuse the teacher. Unfortunately, many teachers do not report these incidents formally because they feel that nothing is going to come of it. They feel as if their hands are chopped off and they can do nothing about it. Because of the nature of teaching, many teachers feel isolated in their classroom. Let's think about this. Teachers normally spend the most of the day in their classroom alone with about 30 to 40 and in some cases more learners in the classroom. That's a ratio of 1 against 40. And it is sad that we have to use the discourse saying that we are against, instead of saying that we have 1 teacher for every 40 learners. In many cases, the classroom has become a war zone, and teachers are left alone, being the lone foot soldier against the masses. Many teachers start off with a lot of enthusiasm, with a lot of passion, wanting to make a difference, feeling that they can change the lives of the learners in their classrooms. But unfortunately, many children get away with murder. Every single time that a teacher has to endure verbal or physical abuse, it is the murder of their passion. It is the murder of their enthusiasm. Teachers are expected to remain professional no matter what the circumstances are in the classroom, because after all, they are the adults and they should be emotionally intelligent enough to diffuse any situation in the classroom. But how is it possible for a teacher to remain cool, calm and collected and professional when there's 40 pairs of eyes staring at you, waiting for you to falter? And in many cases, having their cell phones ready that for the first moment that you crack, they try and capture that on camera so that they can share it to the world on social media. You could be the best teacher there ever was, and one mistake could ruin your reputation. This is a lot of pressure. Now, if you add the feeling of being isolated, no wonder teachers are struggling to cope. One of the biggest reasons why teachers leave the profession is exactly this: the pressures of the classroom. One of the major reasons why teachers leave the profession is because of abuse. That little bit of verbal abuse every single day, chipping away at your enthusiasm, really takes its toll after a while. The sad thing is, very few people take the side of the teacher. When a teacher complains or reports about a learner abusing them, the retaliation is always, yeah, but you are the teacher, you are the adult. You should be able to diffuse the situation. Why aren't you doing your job? They are only children. And if the teacher decides to do nothing about it and ignore the situation, then there are complaints that you cannot manage your classroom and that you are a bad teacher. Either way, the teacher takes the blame. And it is this victim blaming or victim shaming that is prevalent in abuse culture. Just take for example, if a girl goes out and has a little bit too much to drink and she gets sexually abused by another person, what are the comments that people make? Many times you would hear, yeah, but she was asking for it. Why did she get so drunk? Or look at what she was wearing and she was dancing so seductively. That is victim blaming or victim shaming. How many people really blame the criminal and only the criminal? Because what is the girl being blamed of? Having fun? Being young? Enjoying herself? Now let's transpose that to teaching. Many times when a teacher is abused, the focus is placed on the teacher. Yes, but you should have known better. Yes, you are the adult. Or when the focus is eventually shifted to the learner, you get excuses like, hey, they are only children. Boys will be boys. They will grow out of it. That doesn't take away the impact it has on that teacher's life. And until we realize that teachers are the most important piece of the education puzzle, nothing is going to change in our country. We are perpetuating negativity and social injustice already in the classroom. How do we expect to improve the quality of life outside of the classroom once the learners reach the community if we do not want to focus on it in the classroom? Now I know it sounds a lot like I'm playing the victim for all teachers out there and that I'm saying, woe is we. How can we help the teacher, the poor teacher? And that's not what I'm on about. I want to find solutions. So before we can find the solution, we have to figure out what the root cause is. And in my opinion, the root cause is people not taking teachers seriously enough. Teaching is a profession. It's not just another job. Look at other professions. Let's take the medical profession for example. Do you think a patient will verbally abuse the doctor? Do you think that the clients of a lawyer is going to distrust the information that they get? When you approach a financial advisor, do you question the advice that you get? And in many instances, no, because there's respect for these professions. I mean, a medical doctor, he has studied for 7 years and maybe even more and has to know everything about everything of the human body. But is this really true? There is immense respect for the professions of doctors and lawyers and chartered accountants and many other professions. But unfortunately, people look down on teachers. Maybe it's because of the low salaries. Maybe teachers should be on a lower level in society because we don't make as much money as other professions. But nothing could be further from the truth. Teaching is as much a profession as any other professions out there. The problem is, many people are familiar with teachers. I mean, you probably went to school for at least 12 years, so you might have this idea of day in and day out, this is what a teacher does. But unfortunately, you do not know what happens behind the scenes. You do not know to what hours of the morning teachers are preparing lessons because they want to make a difference, not just because it is a job for them. Yes, there are many mediocre teachers out there that just day in and day out want to get the day over and then go home. But super teachers want to inspire. Super teachers go above and beyond the call of duty to assist the learners in their classroom. If you only knew the extent of work that teachers put in after hours, you would stand in awe. There isn't a doctor in this world that is expected to treat 40 patients all at the same time. There is no lawyer defending the case of 40 people at one time. But yet teachers are expected to have superhero powers and maintain discipline with 40 young adults in their classroom. Children going through puberty, children that do not understand the changes that are occurring in their own bodies, whether it is physical or emotional. Yet a teacher is expected to work miracles. And that one moment when the teacher is abused and they crack under the pressure, who is there to support them? The sad reality is teachers are left alone in the classroom with very little support from parents, very little support from other colleagues, and in most cases very little support from the management structure of the school, the district, or even of government. No wonder teachers are getting depressed. No wonder people are fleeing from education. So how do we solve this? First of all, teachers have to start with themselves. Teachers, when you enter the classroom and you are unprepared, what are you teaching the children? When you teach a boring, mediocre lesson without giving any thought of who you are teaching that lesson to, what are you teaching the children? When you badmouth other colleagues in front of children, what are you teaching them? If you can't wait to get the day over or the week over because the weekend is much better than the week, what are you teaching the children? You are giving them a license to disrespect all teachers. So teachers better up their game. If all teachers are super teachers, then people might start respecting us. Parents, when you stop believing every single story your child tells about their teacher, maybe we'll stop believing everything they tell us what's happening at home. When you question the advice a teacher gives, what are you teaching the children? When you badmouth the school over the weekends or at a family braai, what are you teaching your children? When you tell your child to never consider a career in teaching because of the bad salary teachers get, what are you teaching the children? You are giving them a license to disrespect teachers. Principals, when you do not act against every single learner that abuses a teacher, what are you teaching them? If you are too afraid to confront a parent just because of their standing in the community, what are you teaching the children? When you disrespect other staff members in front of children, what are you teaching them? You are giving them a license to disrespect and abuse your teachers. And then to everybody out there, if you would like to see South Africa prosper, if you'd like to see the success of this country, start valuing teachers. Teachers are the ones who are going to make the difference in every single child's life. And if teachers give learners hope, they can work miracles. So what do super teachers do to change this culture of abuse? Number one, we do not run. There is no use in running away from this or sticking your head into the sand and hoping that it's going to go away. Leaving the teaching profession is maybe going to change it for you. But all the teachers that remain, nothing is going to change. It starts with you. Super teachers do not act alone. If you notice a colleague is being abused and you remain quiet, it is only a matter of time that abuse is going to spread into your own classroom. Be in solidarity with teachers who are abused. Stand up for them when they cannot stand up for themselves. Be active and do something. Do not remain silent. And then lastly, be louder than the negativity. There's so much negativity around education. The world is drowning in negativity. Let us be the agents of change that flood social media with positivity. There are so many interesting and inspiring little positive moments in your classroom. Why not tell the world about it? When we start this chain reaction of super teachers sharing positivity, the negativity most likely won't disappear. But maybe we can start focusing on the majority. Maybe we start focusing on all those positive elements of every single day of your profession, and the negativity could wash away. So in that vein, my question for this week is, what are the positive aspects of your profession? Share that with us in the comment section down below, and let's everybody spread the positivity. If you enjoyed this episode and you are as inspired as I am to make a positive change, subscribe to this channel. Because after all, that is what we want to do here. We want all super teachers to unite under one banner so that we can make a positive difference in our classroom. That's all I have for you this week. Until next time, I am Francois, and I definitely am a super teacher.